haven't started, so I'm sorry about the delay, and this is going to be a short video. I was very angry, and of course talking about the fucking post office, so that's one of the reasons why I did that. But I can't be talking about like where I work and things like that. That's too much. You don't need to know that. Yeah. Sorry about that. Let's try again. So 6 minutes of video are freaking just taken out. Let's do the pleasantries all over again. Let's do this. I'm actually feeling a lot better. I am. I know that it doesn't seem like that since I had to restart the video because I'm ranting about the post office, but I'm actually feeling a lot better. They had a stupid meeting with me yesterday, and this is the reason why I doxed myself, so I'm not going to get into it again because I might do it again. But they victim blamed me. And yeah, I take full ownership of the fact that I'm in this situation. But I have to take full ownership of the fact that I have to get out of it. This was supposed to be my last job. This was supposed to be the end. I was supposed to build up retirement. I was supposed to do all that stuff. My friends from college laughed at me. They were like, why the post office? They didn't understand it because there was so much more money to be made elsewhere. They saw and knew that I was making a lot of money, especially in California. I made a decent amount of money out of New York City before I transferred the business to California. And they didn't understand why, as an artist, I would accept this, a mundane job that's meant to break you. And I am stubborn as hell, and I was thinking that the post office could never break me. That this was going to be my last job. I was going to do it, and I was going to be able to retire. I was going to make enough money to retire, and live kind of a humble life. To worry about a lot of stuff. A lot can be said about living a humble life. I know that I talk about being poor a lot, but because I've been poor for a while now. But there's a lot of responsibility that comes with making a lot of money. There's a lot of more obligations, and people think that they own you when they give you money for things. And if you have a contract, they practically do. The thing about where I'm at right now is my job doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, and it doesn't matter to them. There's 20 other people that they're going to put in my spot when I'm gone, and it doesn't matter. I'm not even going to be. I'm not even going to be a freaking unpleasant memory to them. The day I'm gone is the day they stop thinking about me. They were talking about like how I put egg on their face and how I defied them, and we went through this whole rigmarole about all that stuff. And the truth of the matter is that I didn't even like face them. They're going to be gone from the post office just like me. The post office will be whatever it's going to be. It's going to take on a new incarnation. It's changing so much that it's just god awful. It's an unbearable place to work. But then again, people work for freaking Amazon, and I think that that's worse. UPS is probably worse. FedEx is probably worse because they're businesses. Direction that the post office is going is business, and the people part of the post office is going away in lieu of that business. That's what DeJoy is. As much as I hate him, that's what he is. That's what he's setting out to do. It will destroy the post office as we know it. But he's not the beginner of that. He didn't start it. It wasn't a new idea or anything like that. It was basically trumped up, and they've been dismantling the post office for many years. I could blame the former Postmaster General Brennan, and the truth of the matter is that she was a freaking, pretty piss poor freaking Postmaster General. She's not really to blame for all of this that's going on either. It is just at the end. It's the end of its lifespan. I joked that time travelers came back in time to basically, make sure that the timeline was secure. And one of the things that they decided was the best. I had the debate with Hitler about Hitler. What if Hitler was the best scenario to lead us into the future that we need, that we want? What if that was the best scenario? The complete devastation of Germany. And Germany reshaping itself into the image that it is today. America getting nuclear power and dropping the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's the best scenario that they came up with. And I hate to admit it, Trump being president for 4 years, the best scenario that they came up with. That's going to lead us to a brighter future. It's the only thing that gives me hope. But the sad news about having Trump as president and what's going on in this country right now, I know it's not new feelings, and I know that those idiots that basically follow him like lapdogs and zealots. I know that's not new. This is something that they've been wanting for a long time. They talk about Trump's charisma, and I'm like going, he's not even that charismatic. He's not even that charming. He's not even that eloquent. I don't know why people follow him. Is it because some stupid buffoon, and you see yourself, you're reflected in that, and you think that he's really rich? So maybe a stupid buffoon like that, a stupid buffoon like me, could become a millionaire and president. president of the United States? I don't know. I don't know what the fucking thinking is. It's fucking ridiculous, though. I joked that QAnon freaking was started as a joke, and it just got out of control. Maybe this is a lesson for me. You know, with my storytelling. You know, my storytelling, I think, was getting out of control. I have to admit. I pushed it way too far. Alienated people I probably shouldn't have, and it has really affected my relationships and stuff like that, all because I'm supposedly writing. And yeah, I wrote some things, but I don't have anything that's set, so why the storytelling? It hasn't garnered me any affection or anything like that, and yet I persist. I think it's one of my traits. But the downside of it is that, you know, like, and I look at QAnon, I look at what is going on. Like, what has happened. And then I become the boy who cried wolf. I become, you know, the hypocrite. I'm also very cynical, and I also don't believe in freaking stuff like that. It's probably one of the reasons why I don't get hypnotized too easily. I don't think I've ever been hypnotized, because I don't allow somebody else's will to influence me, and that's done by. It's just done by sheer stubbornness and my own stupidity. I'm very hard to be led, and I make a lousy leader. I'm more of a let's see what Sean can do. Leader or a follower, and when given those two choices, I don't fit either. Wow, all these big trucks on this road, absolutely amazing to me. Saving any time. I'm telling you. I know for a fact they're not saving any time. I don't care where they're going. And how much shorter this, you know, taking these back roads seems. They're not saving any time whatsoever. It would have been easier to stay on the highway. There's like 3 highways that circle this back road that I take every morning. And I don't even take the back road all the way down. I mean, this road does actually go to where I don't even need to get on the highway at all, and I still get on the highway just to shortcut a little bit of it because it's long. very fast. It's faster without trucks, but not much. As you've seen before, not much. Not by a whole heck of a lot. Tomorrow I have my first interview in a decade. The sad thing about it is I really want the job, and I really want it to be my last job, and I feel bad that it sucks that I had to waste 10 years of my freaking life at the post office. Not going to be any like litigation. I've already talked to a lawyer. I talked to a lawyer 5 years ago when they tried to fire me for the unlawful, tried to get an unlawful termination suit against them, and we discussed everything. And there might be a case here. There might be something that I can do, but I definitely know the last time he said if you quit, that's it. The case falls apart. Worked out in the post office's favor to not fire me, and I couldn't give them a reason to fire me because then all of a sudden that would be a lawful termination. So I had to do my job, I had to do it right, I had to do everything that I was supposed to do all along the way. And it's like them refusing to pay me for my sick days. Them refusing to pay me for the stuff. They can do that. They can refuse to pay. Because I would go into the suit. But the thing is that if they don't fire me, they don't fire me. I can't do anything. Yeah, I'm just going to basically just wash my hands of the whole situation. Once the consolidations start happening, and all these postmasters, especially the ones that I used to work for, all lose their jobs, and the entire now you're having the long life vehicles, the LLVs, the postage trucks now driving 50, 60, 100 miles a day. They'll break down faster, and the ones that are still in service right now, have been in service for their long life. They're actually overdue, and they're catching on fire. I can't even imagine what's going to happen when they're having to drive from their little town, 50, 60 miles to get to their destinations instead of driving from their post offices in the towns that they are. It's going to be it's sheer nightmare. And then everybody's going to be working on top of each other. I've already worked in large offices and stuff like that, and I've watched them basically just stumble over each other. Worst thing that possibly could happen to the post office, and the post office will run inefficiently again, and all to save it, basically all to save a nickel. You're going to spend a dime to save a nickel. starts to end up saving the nickel anyway. It might cost them. It'll probably cost them the post office. Which, if you look at what DeJoy was doing from the beginning, it's what he wants. And nobody's stopping him. And the management and everything like that, they're all scrambling for relevance. And the sad thing about it is they're not relevant. And their relevance is going to go away. Logistics and the things and everything like that they planned on, because they didn't want the big trucks riding through, basically delivering the mail to each individual post office, saving that. Somebody told me it was like $100 million a year or something like that. I don't know. The money doesn't really matter. But can you imagine? Can you imagine like one truck that delivers to, let's say, 15 post offices. They now all have to come out of that one hub. They still have to send a truck to that hub to deliver all the mail there. That it still has to happen. And it's probably going to be 2 trucks, 3 trucks, 4 trucks. Probably the same amount of trucks, just a shorter distance. Get all those trucks to the hubs where all the carriers are. Now, instead of having a truck drive that distance from the hub to the individual post office, you now have each individual carrier leaving from the hub to deliver to those towns. So each individual carrier is going to be driving that distance. And let's say there's an average of 6 trucks per town. Seems about right. So you have 6 trucks per town going out there with 15 towns. Should have made it easier and made it 60, but that's 90 trucks. 90 mail trucks that shouldn't be doing large distances like that. You're driving highways and and things like that to get to where they begin their route. And if something goes wrong, if something happens on the road with those carriers, because I've already seen it happen with the Amazon Sundays that they do, and something goes wrong and that carrier is out in the middle of nowhere, they have no way to go get them in a timely fashion. I've been in a broke down truck and it's taken 2 hours, and that's with the post office right around the corner. It's taken 2 hours. To have somebody come get me. Can you imagine if they're already an hour away? It's an hour drive distance to that location. It's designed for failure. It's designed for failure. So even if I went full time, even if I went career, that's the future that I'm looking at. And I have to tell you, it doesn't seem like there's any way of stopping it. They get rid of the joy, the destruction of the post office is the seeds are already freaking planted. They're already sown. It is literally the end. post office is freaking dead and doesn't even know it yet. It did have a chance of survival and revival. It did have that opportunity, and they decided not to take it. They decided not to take it. I gotta go at least 30 minutes, so I know I'm here at the usual time. Why are flags at half-mast? Is there a tragedy? Did something happen? I can't think of anything that happened. We didn't even have like a military thing or anything like that. COVID, probably. I don't know. Half-mast. I think our lives are going to be permanently flagged half-mast. Yeah, so it is the end. And I still have, well, because I was never career, I have to work at least 25 more years. So that means I'll be 76 when I finally retire. And I don't think I can physically make it anymore. I don't think I'll physically make it in the post office. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you watch these videos. I don't say that enough. I talk about all the negative stuff and I don't talk about the positives. You're actually watching this video. That's the positive. You're actually watching it to this point. I was thinking maybe I could, put up the other video just for posterity, because you guys could see me basically lose my shit. But it's not worth it. It's still not worth it. I don't want anything bad to happen at the location that I currently work at. I don't want anything bad happen to me. This post office that I work at right now is not the crux of the matter. They're not the reason that I'm quitting. In fact, they're the reason that I stayed. I was already on my way out the freaking door, and they offered this. I didn't know that offering meant that I had to basically start over. But they definitely pulled me out of a bad situation that I had to get out of. I would have had to have left that situation regardless. And I was thinking at the time the only way out was that I had to basically just quit. It is. It is what it is. There's so much more I want. I want to express more about this. Like, I think that because I put up with it so long, you know, the post office thought it was okay. And the next job, I'm going to put up with a lot too. And they're going to see how far they can push me. And I'm going to probably allow more than I should. And I'm probably going to say, this is my breaking point, and they're going to push it to that breaking point, and they're going to see if I break. Because that's what the post office did. That's what a lot of jobs that I've had did. How can we get the most for the least amount of money? One of my favorite jobs was a clerk. Basically a cashier in a one-man shop, a one-person shop, I should say. Where I was the only employee. People would come in, buy things, people would ask questions and stuff like that. And I was the only one. I was the focal point. I was where everybody turned to. And I loved that job. It can be very helpful and everything like that. And I kind of made my own rules on how I did things. I had a small amount of leeway on pricing and stuff like that, and so people could negotiate with me, but not much. And I loved that job. That job was like my favorite job in the world, and I quit it because I thought I was going to be making movies. And didn't really end up making movies. Made a couple movies, and they were not very good. And got into special effects, and still wanted to make movies. And my mentor, who made movies, said that I should keep pursuing it. And I should never quit that job. It was so awesome. I was actually happy. And yeah, I wouldn't have had my special effects company, and yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today, which is without anything. And because where is all that? Where is all that? All the stuff I was chasing? It's not there anymore. The recession took care of most of it, and then my hubris took care of the rest. I bounced around from dead end job to dead end job. Till I saw the career path, being a federal agent. I thought this is a secure job. This job is going to be awesome. This job was brutal, never paid enough, and they just kept demanding more and more and more. And yeah, I think for a lot of people who are not artists and who are, I think people could be built or even dream about being, postal carriers. And I can see that, but it's not my dream. It's never what I wanted. I never really wanted to be a part of this. All right, I should probably get in. I think I caused enough trouble for today. We are definitely over the 36 minutes, the 30-minute mark, the half-hour mark. So, and we're getting close to the thing. So it's 10 minutes. So I got 15 minutes left to work until I have to be at work. So might as well just go in and relax. This could be my last couple days. I think that's what I'm having struggles with, because I can always do a commuting video later on down the road. It just won't be regular anymore. It won't be what you're used to. And I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do in the interim to make up for it. And who knows, at my new job, I might do like a lunch break or something like that. And we can do something like that. I can figure it out. All right. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a wonderful time doing it. If you could, make a comment below. I would really appreciate that. If you don't know what to say, just write cool beans, and I would adore that. And as always, cool beans. All right. Take care.